Friends, welcome to another edition of Inside Out, featuring a Guinness Book record holder. Wait until you see some of the wild and crazy stunts he's going to do. We'll also visit the Booth Christmas Tree Farm and the Burroughs and Chapin Art Museum. We'll learn about the Intercoastal Regatta and the first tea program of the Grand Strand. And in our food segment, we'll hear about local shrimp and seafood. Best of all, we're going to give you some great advice on how to decorate for the holidays right from your own backyard. So if you're ready, let's do it! Chad Netherland lives here in Myrtle Beach and works for Ripley's Entertainment. And he holds more Guinness Book of World Records in martial arts and strength than anyone else in the world. Take a look.
12-inch Teflon coated aluminum frying pan. Wooden Louisville Slugger bat.
Bravo, Chad. That was just awesome.
Thank you, thank you.
Let me remind you all that Chad holds more Guinness Book World Records in martial arts and strength than any other person in the world, and he lives right here in Myrtle Beach. So Chad, how did you get into this?
Well, it's actually kind of funny. I've been in martial arts my entire life, and my mother actually went into labor in one of my father's martial arts schools. So literally I was born into the martial arts.
And I heard that your grandmother was a black belt.
It's a running joke, but it is true. She does. She actually does have a black belt. She was actually one of my instructors whenever I was very, very young, and she would help out in the martial arts school. So yes, she does. She has a black belt.
Chad, how many records have you broken?
To date, I have broken 11 Guinness World Records.
Tell me about them.
Well, wow, I mean, they range from things laying under 1,000 pounds of concrete while on a bed of nails and having them broken off your chest with a sledgehammer, to being chained between two aircraft, taken off in opposite directions. Just all strength-related world records, strength in martial arts. I hold the record for the fastest time to bend 10 nails. I bent 10 nails in half in 21 seconds in St. Louis, Missouri. Ripping decks of cards, license plates, phone books, holding back sports cars, you name it. If it has something to do with destruction, it probably has my name attached to it.
Well, I guess that's my cue to bring out the nail, because Chad told me to bring a nail with me, and I brought the biggest one I could find. Let's see what you can do with this.
Well, you definitely found the biggest one you could find. This is a carriage bolt. So I do hold the Guinness record for the fastest time to bend 10 nails. So obviously this is about the same size as one of the nails. I bent 10 nails in 21 seconds. But this is going to be tough. Hopefully it didn't come out of this chair that I'm sitting in. So, bend this for you, Diane.
Well, that was quick. There you have it.
You can still feel it's hot.
Oh, it is hot.
Yeah.
And that's just from all the friction there?
Just from the friction, yeah.
Gosh.
Crazy, huh?
Okay, I just so happen to have a deck of cards. Let's see, my friend, what you can do with that.
All right, so this is a standard deck cards, 54 cards in the deck. I'll leave the Joker in there. Yeah. You can tell it's they're fine. So I ripped 10 decks of cards, Diane, in 46 seconds in St. Louis, Missouri. And today what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to rip a deck of cards vertically. Not very many people in the world can rip a deck of cards vertically, top to bottom.
Yikes! Amazing, Chad. Is that something, y'all? That is really, well, you know what? That is why you made the cover of Inside Kung Fu. And I understand you're one of the few Caucasian people to ever make the cover of Kung Fu magazine.
That is true. That is absolutely true. Yeah, I'm one of the very, very few. Yep.
I know you also like to work with kids, Chad, and you like to inspire them, get them into martial arts, and give them a great feeling of self-esteem.
Absolutely. You know, I'm doing a lot more charity events, and all the Guinness World Records that I've done in the past, including the ice event that's in this, was shot actually here in Myrtle Beach. And the largest ice break in the world was shot right here in Myrtle Beach. 20 blocks of ice, which was absolutely amazing. But yes, I try to do all the records that I can that relate back to some kind of a charity, because if you're out doing things, it needs to really have value. And what I've been focusing on lately is really working on a message for the youth market. Teaching them about setting goals, teaching them about making good decisions, and following through with whatever they want to do, whether it's taking a path of destroying things like I have, or being a doctor, whatever, goal setting and being able to accomplish that. So it's been a passion.
So you really plan ultimately to travel the world, working with kids, teaching them about martial arts and about self-esteem.
Absolutely.
Oh, wouldn't it be great? So you probably need a really big sponsor.
Absolutely.
Oh, I wish I had the money to do it. I'd sponsor you that fast. How awesome. Now, I also brought in one more little thing, and I'm going to call in a good friend of mine to bring in a little prop that I brought here to the studio with me. And this prop happens to be something that I know you're very familiar with, ripping phone books. Now, my first thought was, should I have Chad rip up the competitor's phone book? Well, that was one idea I had, and then I thought, no, that would be too rude. So instead, I brought in our very own HTC phone book, and it's just one of the biggest in the world. There you go. And I want to see Chad Netherland rip this.
All right, one HTC phone book coming up. Here we go. Well, Diane.
Unbelievable. There's a lot of corrugated paper in there.
There's an awful lot of paper in this HTC phone book, which makes it worth the value.
You know what? I wonder if Mike Hagg, our CEO, had any idea that our phone book could be ripped that fast. Well, maybe we need to invest in stronger paper.
There you go.
That is really something. Yes. Don't do this at home with your HTC phone book or I'll get fired. Now, that was just incredible. What's the most difficult thing that you've ever had to do, Chad?
The most difficult thing I probably ever accomplished, I hold the Guinness record for the longest duration to hold back 2 aircraft from taking off in opposite directions. I held it back for 1 minute and 66 100ths of a second, planes pulling in opposite directions. It was absolutely insane. It was my 10th Guinness World Record, and it was actually the day that I got engaged to Lindsay.
Isn't that something?
Absolutely, it was.
But now, do your parents ever say, Chad, enough is enough? I mean, I know they're into martial arts. Yep. They've got you into this, but do they ever really worry that you're going over the top?
Yeah, well, a lot of times they worry I'm going to get hurt. Not so much if it's over the top, but even after I've filmed a TV show or done something, even a live event and it's over with, they watch the video, they still get nervous even watching the video. So yes, they're worried after the fact, but never so much of being over the top because it's always been encouraged.
So what's the next world record you're trying to break?
Well, my next world record is going to be the fastest time to push a truck a mile. So the current record stands at 11 minutes, 39 seconds. And it was a guy pushed a minivan that weighed 3,200 pounds. Well, I want to push a Hummer, which weighs 6,700 pounds in under 11 minutes. It's basically jogging with a truck.
Now, I'm kind of technically illiterate about this, but like what shift is the vehicle going to be in?
Hopefully neutral. Yeah, you're pushing the truck a mile in under 11 minutes. It'll probably be, for an endurance record, it'll probably be the hardest record I've ever accomplished.
And where will you be doing this?
I don't know yet. Working on a location for that. And I always have places that say, hey, would you come out to Las Vegas or New York and do some stuff there? So it's always who wants it and, what can we do out of it and can we turn it into a nice charity to help people? So, it's up for grabs right now, but that is what's in the queue.
And next month, Chad has an event as well.
Yeah, next month I'm going to be in New York City and I'm going to be addressing the Boys and Girl Scouts of America and talking to them about making good decisions and about goal setting. A lot of the things that I've learned in breaking Guinness World Records and having as many as I have is being able to identify the next record that I want to do, how to train for it, and how to get motivated. And it really meshes well with some of the youth messages of today. A lot of people can accomplish anything they want, but they have to truly be able to identify what that is to begin with. So I'm going to be talking to the Boys and Girl Scouts, so I'm very excited about that. And I'm going to be on Anderson Cooper coming up here in the next couple of weeks. So I got some exciting things, Diane.
And of course, Chad has been on just about every national television show there is. And the ones he hasn't been on, he will be on, I'm sure, very, very soon. So we're honored to have him here on Inside Out. Thank you so very much, Chad, for being with us. And, you know, I don't think saying break a leg to you is a really good thing.
I appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
A Christmas tree farm in Horry County? You bet. Next on Inside Out.
In life, there is a common thread that binds us. It's not always something we can see, or hear, or touch. The connection that brings us together as people. People who feel that technology adds up to more than just wires and plastic. But the thread that binds us together in the most important facet of our lives, connecting with it. HTC. This is life. Connect with it.
'Tis the season to be jolly. We're here at the Booth Christmas Tree Farm right outside of Conway in the Adrian community, and I want you to meet Haley Booth. He's been growing Christmas trees for 50 years. Happy anniversary, Haley.
Thank you.
Tell me how it all got started.
My dad started planting Christmas trees in 1962, and he got the idea from his brother in Darlington County who started planting in 1960. And my dad enjoyed growing the trees. He most enjoyed when families would come out to pick out Christmas trees with the kids. And he passed away in 1986, and I kept the business going after his passing. I enjoy families. I enjoy kids. We do hay rides. Kids and adults enjoy hay rides. And we just enjoy seeing the kids with their excitement going through the tree fields when they find a tree and they said, oh no, here's another one over here. And then they run to it, and well, no, here's another one over here. And
That's the highlight of the year for you.
Some make a half-day visit.
So Haley, when does the season begin for you?
We open up Thanksgiving Day, and we stay open until Christmas Eve. And believe it or not, we will have a couple of customers Christmas Eve.
A lot of people don't put their tree up till then. That's
Yeah.
tradition for some.
Yeah, right.
So what else do you grow here? I mean, you have a lot of acreage at the Booth Christmas Tree Farm.
Well, we have the majority of our cleared acreage planted in Christmas trees now. We have 40 acres of trees growing, and we have a couple of acres. We plant a small amount of red potatoes. We plant a small amount of sweet corn, some for family and some for friends, and a little bit for sale.
But the highlight, Christmas trees. And tell me about this tree here. Is this cypress?
This is a Leland cypress. It's a fairly fast-growing tree. This tree has been planted in the ground 5 years now, and it was a one-year-old tree when it was planted. And it's tall enough now to sell for a Christmas tree, but it's not quite full enough. Next year it'll be a perfect tree for someone.
So Haley, what's in the back with those really big trees?
We have some Murray cypress, which is similar to a Leland cypress. The foliage is similar, but somewhat different, and it's a different shade of green.
Let's head back there and check it out. So Haley, how does this tree differ from the Leland cypress we saw earlier? This is the Murray, huh?
The Murray cypress has a little coarser texture to the needles. It has a lighter green color. It has a good smell, which the Leland doesn't have any smell. And it seems that the limbs are just a bit stronger than the Leland cypress. And this is the first that we've had ready for sale. And we're hoping they're going to be a good upcoming tree. I'm planning to plant more of these.
I'm sure when people come in, Haley, they say to you, well, we're going to hang Christmas ornaments on it. We need a tree that's going to be sturdy. So this would be better than the other cypress and the Leland.
Yes, a lot of people ask what tree will hold heavy homemade ornaments, and the cypress tree will not. The pine variety will, and that way I can direct them to find a tree that will suit their needs.
So Haley, what sort of challenges do you have as a Conway, South Carolina farmer that a North Carolina tree farmer might not have?
But both of us have a problem with drought. We've had a good season for rain this year, which is the best we've had in probably 6 years. The farmers in North Carolina have certain insects that we don't have. We have insects that they don't have that we have to keep fighting to keep them from destroying the Christmas trees.
And yet I don't see any irrigation system or anything out here. You just pray a lot.
Yes, we rely on God to send us the rain. We are going to go into an irrigation system in the next couple of years on some of our farm, not all of our farm. We can't afford to set up for the whole farm, but we're going to set an area aside on another portion of our farm with irrigation in the next couple of years.
You told me you've got a one-of-a-kind here, and I want to see it. Let's go.
Okay.
I'll follow you, Haley. Well, it's adorable. What is it, Haley?
It's a Tuja green giant. It's only tree we have on the farm of this kind, and we planted it by mistake. It came in with some Murray cypress seedlings, and it has a real fruity smell.
I love the smell.
I'm anxious to see how it's going to turn into a real Christmas tree, so I'll know whether to plant some more of these.
Juicy fruit gum smell.
Yeah, like juicy fruit.
How old is this tree?
This tree's been in the ground 3 years now.
So it's kind of an experiment for you.
It is. It is. It's turned into an experiment.
And how many other varieties do you have here?
We have 7 varieties total.
Well, I think we'll let Haley's daughter Lauren, the next generation of Booth Christmas Tree Farmer, share with us some of the other varieties you'll find here at the Booth Christmas Tree Farm. So Lauren, what is this?
This is the white pine. It has a longer needle than the Virginia pine and a little bit less sturdier branches, but it's one of our favorites here at the farm.
What's the most popular tree that folks ask for?
I would say Leland cypress.
So why is that?
I guess it's the shape and the way it looks.
And yet, a lot of people come out here looking for trees that don't even grow well in South Carolina. For instance, the Fraser fir is popular. You don't grow them here, but you sell them.
That is one of our best sellers. We sell around 600 of those per year, and we import those from the mountains of North Carolina. And we'll have plenty of beautiful trees in all sizes for people this year, from tabletop up to 11 foot.
What are some of the other varieties that you sell here, Lauren, at the Booth Christmas Tree Farm?
We have white pine here. We have a Virginia pine. We have a red cedar, a deodar cedar, Carolina sapphire, and Clemson greenspire.
Wow, so you do have a tremendous variety.
A big variety, something for everyone.
So Lauren, how old is this tree? It's mighty big.
These trees they're 8 years old, and it's around 8 foot, which is, they tend to grow around 1 foot to 2 foot a year.
Well, Lauren, I want to see the biggest tree you've got out here at Booth.
Come on and I'll show you.
Let's go. Wow, Lauren, that's gorgeous. Tell us about that tree.
This is a Virginia pine, and it's roughly about 12 to 14 foot, somewhere around in there. We're getting ready to do our final shearing on these, so they'll be shaped more like a Christmas tree soon.
Oh, I love it. Now, I also know that you sell trees that are bald in the bottom and burlapped. We bought one year, but we weren't able to keep it alive, Lauren.
We do sell ball and burlap where we dig the tree up. It's called a living Christmas tree. There's a 50-50 chance that it's going to live or die. Basically, in our area, it's really warm here around Christmas, so they tend to put out feeder roots. And once they do that, they think it's spring because it's inside your house. You put it outside, and then it gets cold, and it normally dies.
Now, I know a very important thing is to keep the tree wet and moist. How about a few helpful hints on keeping your tree healthy during the season?
Basic helpful hints is that you water your tree every day. It can be a game basically for you to do with your children, who does it in the morning, who does it at night. And keep it away from your air vents, your fireplaces, and your air returns. And that way the air is not actually coming through the tree and drying it out faster.
And there's more helpful hints if you come to the Booth Christmas Tree Farm.
That's right. We'll tell you anything you ask us a question. We'll try to answer it the best we can.
So Lauren, your dad said the action starts right after Thanksgiving.
That's right. We open Thanksgiving Day. We'll be open until Christmas Eve, and we're open Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Sundays 1 p.m. until 5.
With free hay rides?
That's right. We do hay rides on the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays. Those are free of charge. We also will have a kids' play area. We'll have visits from Santa Claus, so it's free to sit on Santa's lap. We will have professional photographers here to take your picture, and some picture packages will be available.
Sounds like a great fun family event and a great family farm that's being passed down to you, Lauren. Are you ready for the challenge?
I am.
Y'all come visit with my new friends. This is Lauren Booth and Haley Booth, the Booth Christmas Tree Farm right outside of Conway in the Adrian community. You'll love them.
Coming up on Inside Out, the colors of fall and the first tee of the Grand Strand.
HTC Business Solutions keeps me connected to the technology I need in today's busy business world. Advanced and reliable business technologies like wide area networking, broadband internet and data access, firewall protection, and managed services. All of which gives me the bandwidth I need to help my business grow.
HTC Pro Voice Power Bundle offers businesses more for less. Up to 40% savings when you bundle 3 services. Only $124.95 per month.
HTC. This is life. Connect with it.
Well, you know how they say you've got to stop and smell the roses? Well, this time of year, you just need to slow down and take a look at autumn in all of its glorious splendor. The First Tee program of the Grand Strand is an outstanding one, and we want you to know about it. I want you to meet their executive director. This is Veronica Gore Kennedy. She's fairly new in this job, but boy, is she ever dedicated. So Veronica, what made you so sold on the program?
It's because of the children. Because in America, we're losing our children, and I wanted to have an instrument that I could use to regain our children. And First Tee allows me to do that.
Describe First Tee for our viewers.
First Tee is a character building skill, and it teaches life skills to youth. And it's something they can use as adults as well as children to become successful citizens in the world.
Recently you had a program with some of the 4th graders of Georgetown County. Heard that was fun.
Yes, we did. We had those 4th graders come down. It's called the School Day Program. Very first in Georgetown County. 4th graders got off the school bus to a green grass facility, which some of them would never ever see. We had clubs cut down to their level. They got out on the driving range, they got out on a putting green, and then we had a staging area called the snag material, which is starting new at golf. And the children had a phenomenal time, and the teachers as well. The principal was there, the assistant principal was there. It was a big celebration.
I would imagine a lot of these kids would have never seen a golf course or held a club if it wasn't for First Tee.
That is correct, and that's why we started the school day program in the 4th grade, and we also do what is called the National School Program, which the children do that in their PE classes. During PE class, all the children, K-5 through 5th grade in the elementary schools, get to participate in First Tee and learn the 9 core values.
So it's not really just about life skills. Kids really do learn how to play the game.
Absolutely. The children do learn how to play the game of golf, but we use the game of golf to really teach them the life skills.
But I know that one of the things you need most would be volunteers to help you with this program.
That is how we become successful with First Tee, because we need the volunteers to help mentor these young people. We need men, we need ladies, and you don't necessarily have to play golf. All we need is someone to commit to us just an hour a day, once a week, and that's all we need. And because we're in the Grand Strand, we gotta have a plethora of coaches. We need about 1,000 coaches, really.
You also need clubs, and there are a lot of people with old golf clubs in their attics and their garages, and you guys take them and turn them into magic for these kids.
Absolutely, because we have people that allow us to go into their areas. Martin's is one, the PGA Superstore, allow us to use their equipment, go and cut those clubs down to their level, and the children feel like they own something. It belonged to them, you know, and that is a great thing for children to have something they can call their own.
You mentioned Martin's, and I know they've been incredibly supportive, but we're here at Cane Patch, and so let's mention some of the sponsors that have really helped you along the way.
Oh yes, Cane Patch, Midway is awesome, just the Burroughs and Chapin family, awesome. Been treating us very well, and we also have another sponsor, HTC, who keeps us communicated, keep us in touch with each other and stuff. And it
keeps you connected.
Absolutely, keeps us connected with each other and with everyone else. We're never unavailable because of HTC.
Veronica also told me she needs media support. She needs folks to be on the team to help get the word out. For instance, like when you had a golf tournament recently. Was that successful?
Very, very successful. We had a full field, 128 golfers come out, supported the First Tee. We had lunch that was absolutely amazing. Big D's Barbecue sponsored the lunch for us, and we had cookies from Ruby Tuesday. It was just amazing. That tournament was amazing. We sat down to linen tablecloths and had lunch. It was great.
Now, Veronica wants to keep the speed going. She wants to keep the momentum moving forward for Horry and Georgetown County kids. If you'd like to get involved in the First Tee program, we've got the number for you right there. And in wrapping up, what would you like to say, Veronica?
Get involved, make a difference in the lives of our youth in Horry and Georgetown counties.
I can tell you're doing something you love.
Thank you so much.
Bravo, Veronica.
Thank you, thank you.
How about we check out local shrimp and seafood next on Inside Out?
The Long Bay Symphony presents 2 spectacular Christmas concerts. Join the Long Bay Symphony Chamber Orchestra and the Carolina Master Chorale for Bach's Christmas Oratorio and selections from Handel's Messiah. Concerts are December 1st at Trinity Episcopal Church in Myrtle Beach and December 2nd at Our Lady's Star of the Sea in North Myrtle Beach. Tickets are now available online at longbaysymphony.com or call the box office at 843-448-8379. Come experience the musical joy of this Advent season.
Well, with this being a good month for turkey and ham, when you're up to here in both of them, think fish. We're at Independent Seafood in downtown Georgetown on Front Street. Meet Glennie Tarbox. He has been at this fish market for 53 years. And before that, your dad had it, Glennie. Tell me the
True.
story.
Daddy started this business in 1939, and we've been in it a long time. And she said Thanksgiving is a good time for turkey. It's also a good time for shrimp. And as you see before us, we have several sizes of shrimp. A lot of people ask us when the shrimp season runs. Our shrimp season starts generally in May, and we have 3 types of shrimp. We have, in May, we have the roe shrimp, then in summer we have the brown shrimp, and in the fall we have the white shrimp. So we have fresh shrimp from May through December. Now, we have 3 shrimp seasons. The white shrimp that we catch in May are generally the largest shrimp we catch. These have wintered over, they last year's shrimp. Now the brown shrimp, our local summer shrimp, and in the fall, the white shrimp that we have are the ones this year's crop, from the ones that spawned in May.
Glennie, is there any difference in taste between those different colored shrimp?
No difference in taste. There's a little bit difference in looks. Before us, we have a white shrimp. A white shrimp has a green tip tail, and a brown shrimp would have a red tip tail. Also, the whiskers are a lot longer on this shrimp than they would be on a brown shrimp.
Do a lot of people like to buy the shrimp with the heads on?
Some do, and the Asians particularly do. I think they cook them with the heads on and use that for stock.
Oh, I guess a lot of the chefs do too in town. I guess they like doing that.
Not too many. You know, shrimp, people don't realize that 90% of the shrimp are imported in this country. And this has really affected the price of shrimp. Our shrimp are as low as they were 20 years ago. And the farm-raised shrimp, if you go to a restaurant and ask, you know, where they came from, 90% of the time they say, oh, these are fresh local shrimp. But 9 times out of 10, they came out of freezer.
But we know your shrimp is fresh because we can come down here at any point and see the boats coming in. You've got a good relationship with the shrimp farmers too.
Well, what is happening is the time goes by, we're seeing less commercial shrimpers. The product is going more to a farm-raised product.
That's sad, Glennie, it really is. So what are the shrimpers doing then? I mean, many of them have been making a living doing this. They're finding other occupations?
About half of them have from Georgetown.
You always have plenty of shrimp. Whenever I come to Georgetown, I always bring a cooler. But I can see the prices are really fabulous on shrimp right now. So when the shrimp season is in, prices are even better?
Right. And during the season, we freeze for the off-season. So we do have shrimp January till May.
53 years in this location. What were you doing before all of this?
I was in the Navy 2 years.
But because your father had the business, you just kind of settled right in?
Well, I did, but for a long time I did a lot of other things and ran this on the side. I worked for the National Paper Company from 59 to 63, worked for the state for 4 years. I worked for Andrews Bank and Trust Company for 20 years. And I'd get off work at 5 o'clock and run down here and sell shrimp. So in '87 we merged the bank and I came down full time.
Glennie, after 53 years, do you ever get sick of shrimp? I mean, do you cook it at home?
Very much. We've had shrimp twice this week, never get tired of it.
I guess when it's fresh, it's just
Gotta
great.
be good.
And finally, you sell all sorts of fish here. We're getting ready to have an education in fresh fish, but you also have all the things to go along with the meal.
True, we have a lot of things here, and treble will go with the fish, but we have crab meat and many other things.
All the seasonings, all the mayonnaise and tartar sauce, you've got it all here at Independent Seafood. We're going over to Trevor Morris right now, and I want to ask Trevor this question. How do you know a fish is fresh?
Diane, there's several ways you can tell fresh fish. One is the eyes. They'll be real cloudy. You won't be able to see that ring around the eye. The cloudiness will cover it up. That's one way. A second way I tell is by looking at the gills. The gills will still have a pinkness to a redness in it. If it's brown, it's old. But this here is what you call scamp grouper. It's pretty fresh. And if it's already filleted, once you look at it, the flesh, you can tell by pushing it, the flesh should bounce back a little bit without leaving your finger indentations in it.
So is it true you can tell whether a fish is fresh by its smell?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the fishier, the older.
Well, tell us about grouper, because this is one fish that we know is definitely local.
Definitely local. We have grouper boats all up and down the East Coast, but we have a few here docked in Georgetown that we're lucky enough to get grouper from. And you can catch anywhere up and down the whole eastern seaboard from, I would say, North Carolina all the way down to Florida.
You used to be a commercial fisherman. Do you miss it?
A little bit, yeah. It's pretty fun to do, but I like being home every night now. So.
I bet. But now Glennie was telling us that the plight of the fisherman and shrimper is a difficult one today.
It's getting difficult by the year. actually by the month it seems like. Things are changing, laws. It's just tough. I mean, it's expensive. Fuel is a big thing nowadays. I mean, fuel's $4 a gallon or plus. So it's just tough.
Well, we know how expensive it is with our cars. Can you imagine with the boats? But you know, when people go to the fish markets, a lot of times they buy fish and they think it's fresh when it really doesn't even come out of our waters. Like I hear people a lot of times say, oh, well, I bought some mahi-mahi and it came right out of the water here. Now, we don't really have mahi-mahi here, do we? I know we've got one type.
We do have mahi-mahi. It's a fish that travels up and down the coast. We get it here around springtime through the summer, and then they head to warmer waters during the winter. So, but yeah, we do get mahi-mahi, just not a lot of it.
But when people really want to go to the market and get fresh seafood, they should go for grouper or flounder, right?
And also we carry trigger when available, which is an awesome fish. And flounder, yeah, naturally, and pretty much that's about it. And vermilion snapper's another good fish that you can get that's local. And then there's various other fish that they catch here, but there's just not a lot of them that they have a big market for, which lionfish is a good eating fish now. And that's a poisonous fish that they want us to eradicate.
Right. What do you think about that?
I cut one the other week and stuck myself and was really scared, but luckily enough the poison didn't do anything to me. But it's a very good eating fish. It tastes better than grouper.
But I know in all the Caribbean islands they're trying to eradicate the lionfish.
Yeah, because they have no predators, and then they're everywhere.
Over.
They're everywhere. Key West, they said an average square mile there's 200 lionfish per square mile in the Key West.
Wow. Now I've got a question for you. I see people coming in, a lot of them are asking for certain things, and Cotton Williams is over there. He's been here for how many years?
Oh God, as long as
a ton.
At least 12 or 13 probably.
He seems to be helping the customers with just about all of their requests.
Yeah, you need something Cotton's demand to go to.
So have you ever had a customer come in and ask for something you just couldn't deliver?
Oh yeah, just this morning I had somebody ask for crawfish, and we don't carry crawfish. That's not seafood. That's more like a river food, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, yeah. Is there a difference between a crawfish and a crawdad?
I don't think so.
Okay, that was just a crazy question. But I want to ask you this, Trevor. When it comes to fish, what is your favorite? I mean, you've been in the fish business a long time.
My favorite, what they call hogfish, and it's very good. It's very white meat, very sweet, not fishy tasting at all. Just as it's one of the fish they don't catch a lot of. So normally when a fisherman catches one, he keeps it.
So is the hogfish local?
Yeah, they catch them all up and down the eastern seaboard. They're prominent in the Keys, but they're real small. Here we get them big. But let's say one boat goes out for a week, he might catch 3 or 4 of them, and that's it. They just don't catch them. They're not easy to catch.
I noticed that here at Independent Seafood, everything is really priced reasonably, more reasonably than I've seen some of the seafood priced at the grocery stores. So I'm pretty impressed that the prices are low. But I guess with the rising costs of gas and the rising costs of everything, we should buy fish now while we can.
Yes, most definitely. And plus it's healthy for you.
Yeah. You got a flounder here, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
And I understand they're pretty good eating this time of year.
They're very good eating. It's hard to beat fresh flounder. They're just nice and full this time of the year.
And there's meat on the top, and then there's meat on the bottom.
Yeah,
huh?
just the bottom flay's thinner than the top, that's all. Same meat, same taste.
So Trevor, in wrapping it up, is there anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, eat more fish and eat more shrimp.
And come to Independent Seafood, downtown Georgetown.
Don't go away. Up next, we'll learn how to decorate from our own backyards.
HTC Home Security offers me the comfort of knowing I'm safe at night. I count on the monitoring services to safeguard my family and my belongings. HTC offers the peace of mind and protection I need for the things that matter the most.
HTC security monitoring for as low as $22.99 per month. System is only $99 with free installation.
HTC. This is life. Connect with it.
Get ready because we're going to save you money on holiday decorating. Whether it's Thanksgiving, Christmas, or whatever you're celebrating, our friend Kathy Smith here in Myrtle's Inlet with the Master Gardeners program has got some great information for us on decorating. And you've got me in the mood, Kathy.
I'm so glad to hear that. It is Christmas, isn't it?
It is. 'Tis the season, honey. Almost anyway. And you've made so many great things using pieces from your very own backyard.
Yep.
Tell me about this piece.
This is a really interesting piece. This is called a plaque. And it will work either, it has, I'm going to turn this around so you can see it. It has a handle in the back, so you can put it either on a gate, a door. It is the wet oasis, so you want to be careful that, you know, where you put it so it doesn't get things damp.
And for those who don't know what wet oasis is,
it's floral foam.
Right. It
Yes.
goes right in there.
Yes, you soak it and then you're able to put your plants in there, whatever you're going to use, and they'll stay fresh for a period of time. And then you just go back and you spritz it with water to keep it fresh.
So do you have to actually put these on floral picks, or did you just poke them in?
I just poked them in.
Easy.
Easiest thing in the world to do. Easiest thing in the world to do. This came out of my own imagination.
That's scary.
I know.
Kathy, what about the apple though? Will it not drip all over the table? Will it not rot before the holidays?
This is not a real apple.
Oh.
This is
It
a
looks
plastic
real.
apple that came on a pick. If I can get that out of there. I'm not going to be able to pull it out, but
Oh,
it's on a
but
pick.
Yes.
And it looks so real that you won't have to worry about the squirrels or birds or anything trying to make it their dessert.
Unbelievable.
But I just think that would be really, really pretty up on a gate.
I love it.
Up on your front door.
Do you have to soak the pieces in advance before you put
Yes.
them in there? How long
Yes.
though?
In order to condition, this is kind of a 2-day process. A couple of days ago I went out and cut all of the plants. And then I put them in a bucket as soon as I cut them. As soon as I come inside, I cut everything again at a 45-degree angle. Make sure your containers that you're doing this, your pruner is clean, as in this was doused in alcohol to make sure I didn't spread any fungus. And you just want to make sure that everything is clean so you're not bringing anything into the house. Once I cut these, I let them soak in water overnight, in warm water. And then the next day, you bring them out. I snipped them again just to make sure that it stayed fresh. Put them in at a 45-degree angle, you know, cut at a 45-degree angle, and just filled in, started at the outside and filled in into the middle. These are popcorn berries that I don't know if I bought them or found them, probably 15 years ago. I just protect the dried products by wrapping them up and putting them in a plastic bag, and I just save them because these things are expensive to replace every year, so I don't have to replace them every year.
Love it. But what I'm getting ready to show everyone now, I love even more because I love lemons. Look at that. How wonderful is that? Now, are they real?
Yes, those are real.
Are the apples real?
Yes, the apples are real.
That's gorgeous.
And those blue-purple berries are real.
What about the leaves? Now, they came right out of your yard?
That's viburnum.
Beautiful, and they're shined up nicely?
They are that way. The reason that we put in this particular variety of viburnum is it's tinus, viburnum tinus, which gives winter flowering. These seeds will become flowers if you leave them on the plant, and then you have food for the birds.
How neat, but I just love lemons, and it's so happy and cheerful. And then right next to it we have something Adam and Eve would certainly love, and it's an apple tree.
Yes.
And that is gorgeous. Again, real apples?
Real apples. Yep. Pittosporum came out of my yard. That's variegated pittosporum.
Be great on your Thanksgiving table, don't you think? And how about this? This is something anybody ought to be able to do.
Is that sweet? I just think that is so sweet.
Just a little form.
Yes. It's just a little cone-shaped form, and then there's a little form that you put the candle in. And then I here again, used the wet floral foam, started from the outside, went in, put in some artificial berries. And the one thing you want to make sure of, and the reason I wanted to include this, is whenever you're working with live plants and you're working with candles, don't leave the room.
Absolutely good advice. Now, what we're getting ready to do here is even more special though, because you tell me you just started out with an S-shaped form.
Correct.
And this would be a great centerpiece. If it was lying on a table, it would be flat like this.
Yes.
We just propped it up so everyone could see it. And then the pineapple for hospitality.
Yes.
Well, tell us how this is done.
The S-shaped curve is actually plastic wreaths that are cut in half. So it's actually a half of a wreath. Here again, I just simply wet the floral foam, cut it to shape, and then I took all of my conditioned plants and just started putting things in. I'm a symmetrical person, so I like things to match. You don't have to do it exactly like this. If you like asymmetry, then you might look a little different than this. But basically, here again, the dried, I bought probably 20 years ago. The grapes are plastic. Grapes are expensive in the store, and I'm just...
These look real.
I'm very frugal, and I just didn't want to pay for real grapes. So I bought those. Of course, pineapple I will use later on, cut it up for us, and we'll have that later on. One thing you do also have to realize is if you use live fruit, never eat the fruit that you've placed on an arrangement.
Sure.
Because of bacteria and all of that. But the red berries right here, they're artificial. Everything else besides the grapes are real. You have, and I don't know how easy it is to see, but there are actually cotton bolls in here.
Oh yeah.
Right there, right there. These are pepper berries, and you can, not all the time, but you can find them at craft stores over in the dried flower arrangements. I have to take that back. One other thing, because kumquats are expensive too, these are artificial kumquats, and they have
the pick.
The pick. I put the pick in.
Use them year after year.
Yep.
Well, now what if it was on the table? Why don't we take some greenery and just kind of add to it?
Okay, so let's just move this.
If someone was decorating for the holidays, I'll put this down.
Okay.
And it was on their table and they wanted to add some greenery to this.
Yes. This is so easy. I already have some Yopon holly back here. You want to go ahead, pick one up.
Okay.
Okay, you want to cut it so that you have about 4 or 5 inches to work with. So you want to take off the outside.
Got it.
And then you want to cut it at a 45-degree angle.
So the water can get up inside, right?
Exactly, it absorbs better.
It would help to have the clippers the right angle.
and then you just stick it in wherever you want to.
Neat.
And then you can just continue to do this.
And oh, well, look what I went for.
Okay.
I went for the big piece. Look at that. That is beautiful.
I wouldn't use the whole piece, I would use a leaf.
Just a leaf.
Yep, and when you use, excuse me.
Oh, go ahead.
When you use something this large, you don't want to use the whole stem. You want to cut at an angle. And this you would probably use as a base.
I see, just to kind of stick out of the bottom.
Yeah, it's so large, it would probably take away from what you were doing. Yes.
Yeah, I got it.
Yes.
And as long as your floral foam is wet, it goes in so well.
Exactly.
Kathy, these are such great holiday decorating ideas. How can we get more ideas, compliments of Clemson Extension?
Clemson has a wonderful website. It's a Clemson Extension website. It's the Home and Garden Information Center. I believe you're going to show the web address on the screen. You can find any information there, from this kind of thing, which is using greenery from your yard for Christmas decorations, holiday decorations, to canning preserves. If you have problems with plants in your yard, you can look up things to see what's wrong with your particular plant. If you want to know how to grow something or plant something, a tree or whatever, you can go to this website. It is an absolutely endless supply of information for the gardener.
Clemson is so lucky to have the Master Gardener program,
Absolutely.
and I know that as a Master Gardener, you also give a lot of volunteer hours back to the community, as you're doing right here with us on Inside Out. Happy holidays,
Happy
my
holidays!
friends. 'Tis the season to be jolly, friends.
Following this break, the Intracoastal Regatta and the Art Museum.
My HTC digital cable service delivers all my favorite shows, movies, and sports entertainment. We always crack up watching comedies on video on demand and raise the roof cheering for our favorite sports teams in high def. HTC offers all the channels and features I love and connects me with the ones who mean the most.
Get HBO, including HBO Video on Demand, HBO HD, and access to HBO Go for $7.99 per month for the first 12 months.
HTC. This is life. Connect with it.
The Intracoastal Christmas Regatta happens every year, the Saturday after Thanksgiving. Put it on your calendar. It is wonderful, and it all started in a very unusual way. Dawn Fowler, tell us the story.
Well, there were several people sitting around and just kind of bored in the wintertime, nothing to do. And Susie Watson and her husband Royce and their Uncle Pooh had been down in Florida and seen a boat parade, and they decided, well, let's do a boat parade here and dress all our boats up like Christmas and parade down the waterway, kick off the season. And that's how it all got started.
So for over 25 years this parade has been going on, and people come from all over to see it each and every year. It's a huge success.
It is. We usually have over 20,000 people lining the waterway to look at the boats going down the waterway. And it's for a good cause. We raise money and we collect toys for children who fall through the cracks of other agencies that just don't get help and need it. That's who we try to help.
And so when these toys come in from the people who attend the parade, then you have volunteers that distribute them?
We have volunteers. Well, what we do is we ask the teachers and guidance counselors and principals of the schools in Horry County to let us know what their needs are. And we collect the toys, put them all in one spot, and then the guidance counselors come in and collect their toys, what they need for their group of kids, and take them back to the school, and they're distributed from there.
I know you've seen a lot of funny things in the parade each year. Tell me about some of them.
Well, I've seen too many people on a pontoon boat, and the pontoon boat
sinks.
Ooh,
that must be cold in November.
It was very cold in November. We've had a couple of Santa Clauses that misbehaved. I don't know if you would call it funny or not, but it happens, so we try to avoid that now.
Dancing and singing reindeer last year.
Dancing and singing reindeer. We had one year they did the Grinch That Stole Christmas was their theme, and they were all dressed up in the characters in their pajamas and what have you. So people have a lot of fun with this.
Dawn, is there a fee to enter?
There's a $40 fee to enter the parade, or they can donate an equal amount of toys, whichever way they would prefer to do that, because we're just going to take the money and buy toys. And so that's the way they enter, and they can enter by going on the website, christmasregatta.com, and pulling an application from there, or they can call Susie at Harbor Gate Marina, 249-8888, and get an application from her.
And what's the best place to view the parade?
Anywhere along the waterway, from Little River to 13th Avenue South and North Myrtle Beach.
It's the Intracoastal Christmas Regatta. Never miss it. It's the Saturday after Thanksgiving. Thanks, Dawn Fowler.
Thank you.
Great art and great experiences. That sums up the Franklin G. Burroughs Simeon B. Chapin Art Museum. Meet Pat Goodwin. She's the executive director, and I know she loves working in this beautiful building, which is an old beach house.
Yes, it is, indeed. It was built in 1924 by the Cannon family, and we always kid and say sheets and towels, just so we can put it in perspective. It was built in 1924, about 8 miles north. And in 1945, it was purchased by the Springs family, and again, more sheets and towels, and they just loved this house. And they entertained in it both family and business associates. And one of the great things about the house, it sat right next to the Ocean Forest Hotel. And so a lot of the guests come in and say, oh, I can remember sitting on the porch and listening to the music come over the sand dunes from the ocean forest. And so there's lots of wonderful memories associated with this house. It was moved in 1984 down Kings Highway, and a lot of people remember that and talk about, oh, I was standing right in front of the mall when I saw it go by. And that was wonderful because it involved the whole city. Yeah, politicians were involved, the electric company, the telephone company, everybody was involved. So our museum is really a part of the community on so many levels. So we're part of the past. Of course, we're part of the present because we're a wonderful art museum that is bringing lots of good, positive attention to the city of Myrtle Beach. And then we think we're part of the future because we plan to be around for years and years.
Not many museums, though, can continually operate by letting people come in free.
Yes.
But I think it's wonderful that you do. So how do you get your funding?
Well, in 2003, we did adopt our free admission policy, and we're so glad that we did. Because what that enabled was anybody and everybody could come to the museum, and they could come as often as they wanted. They could see an exhibit and then go back and tell their friends and say, oh my gosh, we've got to go down there. And one of the great things about the free admission policy is it enabled people to think, oh, well, maybe I'm going to go into that wonderful shop and spend a little money in there. And we love our shop because it promotes our local artisans. But it wasn't, we weren't giving up anything with admission. We were gaining visitors and we were gaining friends.
And people make donations when they're walking out the door.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I have found that people actually pay more leaving than they would have when they were paying admission.
They do indeed.
It's a wonderful gift shop, and Pat's necklace came from the gift shop here.
Yes, indeed, it did. It's one of our button necklaces. It's one of the wonderful things that we carry. I must say my earrings are from the shop too. And we do, as I say, we try to support local artisans, but as well, if we have a particular exhibit, we try to get merchandise that complements that exhibit. And our shop really does help the bottom line.
Your festivals are always wonderful, and you kick off the year with Chinese New Year.
We do indeed. We start out with Chinese New Year. We'll be doing, this will be our 10th year of Chinese New Year. And the first year we did it, I remember one of my board members saying, gosh, do you think anyone will come? And I said, well, maybe 50, 60 people. Well, we had 400 people the first year, and it has grown ever since. And it's a very, very popular event. And so we celebrate our Asian community in January or February, depending on when it falls. In the spring or early summer, we celebrate our Gullah culture with our Gullah culture celebration. And then each November, the first Saturday in November, we celebrate Dia de los Muertos for our Mexican American community. So these are great days. They're all free. And we have food and arts and crafts and music and dance and lectures, just joyful celebration. We say about our family days, this is a great way to educate through celebration. And also, if we don't take the time to learn about each other, then we're never going to really understand and appreciate each other. So this is our gift to the community, and we're very grateful to do it, happy to do it.
Speaking of gift to the community, Pat, you just don't wait for people to come here to the museum. You have a wonderful outreach program taking the art to them.
Yes, we do, especially to the schools and to the library and to other organizations. We're involved in many things throughout the community, especially with our kids' art program. And when we have our kids' art program actually in our building, we focus on the art that's on display. We always do a little bit of Art Museum Etiquette 101, which is good for everyone. What to touch, what not to touch, why the lights are low, why you don't take photographs, all those little tidbits of information. And then the children go up into the studio and they do a craft that has to do with what they just saw. And this has really become a highlight of what we do here at the museum, because our children, of course, are our future artists and our future supporters.
I know that you couldn't possibly run this place, though, without the thousands of volunteers that you have.
Oh my gosh, we have the best cadre of volunteers. Yeah, wonderful. We have volunteer opportunities at the front desk, at these wonderful family days, at our special events. Oh, just any kind of volunteer opportunity you can think of, we offer it here at the museum.
As we give everyone your information for your website and your phone number, Pat, just tell us the hours of operation.
Okay, the Art Museum is open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sunday from 1 to 4, and again, free admission to the Art Museum.
It's your art museum. Come visit. Next month, we're going to deck the halls with holiday spirit. This is Inside Out, keeping you on track throughout Horry and Georgetown counties. See you next time.